Hello guys, in today's video we are gonna see if we have finished our challenge making 2 million gold transmog farming only. A lot of things have happened. I've tried different strategies and I have had so many sales. I'm talking thousands of sales, and today I'm gonna explain how, and also we're gonna talk about if it's good or bad and what has happened. So as you guys probably know, there are a lot of different opinions about transmog. A lot of people say transmog doesn't sell, a lot of people say transmog sucks, transmog is a scam. A lot of people are glazing, saying transmog is the best thing ever, you make 500k an hour, etc, etc. So today we're actually gonna discuss everything and go through on how my view on transmog is right now and what my opinion is after actually spending almost 200 hours on transmog now. So we are basically mainly going to go through mailboxes today. I have 4 tunes and we're gonna see how much gold in total we have made. Let's start with the first tune here, and as you can see I have 337 mails. This might look like an extreme number, but you are going to see way more higher numbers in terms of mails later as well. What you might see here is that my mailbox is very small in value, and I will touch on that real soon, but we are going to go through and open all of the mails real quick. I can't go through all individual mailboxes today because I think that will take too long time since we have so many to open, so we will just open them and discuss a bit at the same time and see how much gold in total we have made. I think we ended the last episode of this transmog challenge at about 1.5 million gold, which was very nice, but we also did discuss a bit of the gold per hour in the last episode, and I talked about maybe having like a gold per hour between 10 to 11k last episode. I think we have pushed up the gold per hour a lot this episode because I have been doing these techniques. As you can see, now we're collecting our last mailbox here, and we have a total gold of 225k on this tune already, which is absolutely crazy. However, I have some more sales coming in here, as you can see, but I only have 286 auctions left, and it is about 25 days or something, I think, that I recorded the last episode. So this is sales for like 25 days, and all I have been doing is basically repost my transmog once per day since that, and I have not been farming almost anything. I might have done a few island expeditions, but other than that, no transmog farming, so I haven't really restocked anything. But let's go over to the next character. But first of all, let's just add this to our calculation so we can see how much gold in total we have. Nice. We looked at a total of 130k on this tune, so let's check our next tune. I think our next tune is going to be brutal, but we'll see. It has so many mails. As you can see guys, this tune has 621 mails. This might look stupidly much because it is transmog we're dealing with here and it's so many mails. I'm going to show you now how I'm getting those sales, but as you can see, the mailboxes are small. This one is quite high at 80k, but you're going to see small mailboxes. And why do I got so many sales and why do I got so small mailboxes? It is because when I realized that I have finished this challenge making 2 million gold, I decided I wanted to try one thing, and that is to lower my prices to an extreme low and see how much transmog you would be able to move. So I did that. This might be very controversial depending on who you are watching this, because I might be crushing the market on these servers, but I don't know how it works. Most likely Flippers is just buying me out, right? And they will reset the market, but I will show you my TSM for this now, and it is absolutely crazy because what I have been doing is basically in my TMOG operation, I have put myself to the post cap of 1, of course, but I have my minimum price at 50% DB region sale average. This was 100% before. This does not really do too much of an effect, but this is 75% DB region sale average and this is 80. So what I have been doing is, if the prices is below my minimum, I don't post because then it's too cheap. But if the items are higher than 80% DB region sale average, which most of the transmog items are, right, because they are inflated so much, I am posting them at normal price. So I'm posting items at 75% DB region sale average, which is really cheap. Like, this is incredibly cheap, and that is why I am getting so many sales. So basically, if an item is posted too high, I am undercutting it like crazy, probably getting the cheapest region price. So I'm undercutting the region most likely. That's why I'm getting so many sales now. It is absolutely crazy. However, if you do this, you are going to get a lot of sales, but your items are basically worthless. A lot of the items that you farm are worth so much more, right? But this is one way to get rid of your transmog, but this is probably not the way to do it if you want to make good gold. I'm not sure. This is probably not the best way if you want to make good gold because you're selling your items too cheap, but they are moving like crazy. As you can see here, I sold the Astral Lightbow for 21k, Ruffled Chaplet 8.4k, Dark Whelpling 4.7k. So you are getting gold, but those items probably are worth more, right? Because they probably take more time to farm. I'm not sure. But let's say if you were to farm for an hour of transmog, and if you were selling it at like 50% region sale average, most likely that gold per hour farming is gonna be trash. We're gonna talk like 5k an hour maybe. I'm not sure. So it's fun for me to try this and see how much sales I actually got, because I wanted to know, can you do this in a way where you sell so much stuff? You really can sell a lot of transmog super duper easily, but you're selling it so cheap that it's probably not worth it for you. I'm not sure. You can try if you want, but this might crash some transmog markets. I'm not sure. It depends. But of course, people who really is into this, they probably just buy up your stuff and sell it slower, but for more. Here we have in our 100 mails here a lot of gold. This is before I start this method as well. I think I started this method around here when I got the high sales here, because this is where I manually undercut the region with those high items and getting nice sales. So I think here like 5-6 days ago is when I started this. So before that, it's just the regular mails. But this mailbox is huge. But as you can see here, Firekin robes, this is like me selling it regularly for 66k. All of the other stuff right here is just server prices, right? So 317,000 gold on this tune here on the 100 mails. So it's almost like this tune made it itself, like 2 million, which is crazy. We have the glorious breastplate here. So this tune in total made 700k almost, 693,000. But if we add up the total, we're already at 1.818 million gold so far, which is really good. We will discuss the updated gold per hour soon as well, because it is more interesting since I have not spent too many hours since last time. This might actually bump up the gold per hour a crazy amount. We'll see. But this has been such a fun thing to do, to try this way of selling your items so incredibly cheap, to see if it actually is a market that is buying up your stuff if it's cheap enough. And apparently it really is, because I've been able to move hundreds of items every day, which is just absolutely crazy, right? On this tune we have 538 mails as well. As you can see, they are very cheap. Like, they are very cheap. There are probably some people watching this that will see items in here that is selling so ridiculously cheap. They are thinking like, am I stupid? What am I doing? And that is totally understandable. I did this as a test. I wanted to see if you're able to move stuff like crazy fast, and you really are if you are cheap enough. But if everybody were to start doing this, you probably would completely crash those markets, I would assume, because if enough people do this, I don't see a point why people would buy up your stuff if it eventually gets this cheap. So not really sure how sustaining this is really, but this is definitely a way you can do if you want to get out of the transmog market, and you can probably sell your thousands of items pretty easily and get like at least some return on it, which is always good, right? We're going to be well over 2 million. I didn't know we were gonna get this much really, but that is absolutely amazing to see. This is like gold I totally forgot I even had, because those tunes has been locked into this challenge pretty much. Oh, Vibroblade selling for 23k here. This might be before I started the undercutting, or maybe the Vibroblade is the item that I actually started the undercutting with here, selling for 23k. That is also one thing that you can do, guys, to get rid of high valued transmog items. If you go to Undermine Exchange, you check the cheapest price of that particular item on your whole region, and you undercut it to be the cheapest on the region. People who's actually interested in buying and collecting, they might go to Undermine, look for the cheapest items when it is high valued stuff, and then go to your server and buy it up. So I would assume that's a really good way to do it if you want to get rid of high valued stuff, right? This is definitely before I did these low prices. So we have 92k here. We have some nice sales here, right? Because this is pretty much more normal prices. So that is absolutely amazing as well. What is my plan now going forward with transmog? That is a bit hard to say. I think it's quite fun to be farming and stuff. Yeah, we have 352k here, which is really nice. 810 total gold in our bag. So I think it's really fun to farm with the community, and this is obviously making me gold, as you can see here, 2.6 million so far, and we still have one tune left. Is this something that I'm going to constantly be doing? Probably not. But is this something that I will be doing? Probably yes. So I will be doing this with you guys in the community, because it is fun to do it together with you, and it is also a bit fun to farm farm transmog. Is it the best gold making method in my opinion? Absolutely not, but it is fun for sure, especially when you do it together with others in my opinion. So I will keep on doing it. However, we'll see how we do it. We'll see how we keep going with our sales. If we keep doing it like this, probably not, because the gold per hour is probably bad doing it like this, but it's gonna be fun to see. It's gonna be fun to see. This video might be a bit controversial in terms of crashing markets like this. I know it's probably not the best thing to do depending on who you are, but try to look at it at both ways, guys. Don't be too harsh. Like, if you want to get quick sales, sometimes you gotta do some weird stuff, right? But on this tune, we're looking at a total of 123,890 gold. In total, we have made 2,753,000 gold with the transmog. So, does transmog sell? Absolutely. How slow is it selling? Depending on your prices, for sure. If you have the normal prices, it sells slow as hell, guys. I need to tell you that. I've been having like over 2.5k items, I think, at most, at some times. I think at least, over 2k at least. It has been selling slow, but sometimes you get those sales, which is incredibly high, which makes no sense in my opinion, and those really add up and make you some gold for sure. But as I said in the previous episode, we had a gold per hour of around 10 to 11k, but now we're going to check our gold per hour now, because this is way more interesting, I think. Because in the last episode, I think I said I spent 140 hours, if I'm not incorrect, and this episode, I can tell you that I have not been doing anything else than pretty much reposting every day, right? I think if we're gonna be realistic and also a bit on the higher end in terms of hours maybe, but it's going to be quite accurate, I would say we have spent 40 hours, maybe 30 hours, but most likely 40 hours. We'll say 40 hours. That would put us at 180 hours now. So if we have spent 180 hours on this, making 2.7 million gold, we have made a gold per hour of 15,300 gold. It really ramped up now. Really ramped up. So this is not bad, but it's not super good either. But it is way better than I thought since the last episode, right? But this is probably because we have offloaded all of our stuff. So if we were offloading from start, I don't know how it would look. Would we have a higher gold per hour? Would we have a lower one? No idea really how it would work. That is something that I might try as well. We'll see how controversial it is, what people think about this, for sure. I hope you guys have enjoyed this type of video where I do this transmog stuff. But my conclusion I have with this is that transmog sells. It sells slow or fast depending on your prices, right? If you sell it for high, it sells giga slow. If you sell it for very dirt cheap, it sells quite fast. However, the gold per hour doing transmog farming is quite bad. At least of the 170 hours or something that we have done so far, it is not the best, but it is also heavily RNG, so maybe I could have been more lucky or unlucky. It depends, I guess. But making any like 100k an hour or whatever some people are stating, I don't think so, guys. That is absolutely not possible. You gotta take everything into account. Posting is one of the things that takes a lot of time with transmogs. So not only getting the item, you need to post it, and you need to post it for days, weeks, months, years in some cases probably. But I hope you guys have gotten something positively out of this series, and I hope that some of you like this. I don't know how you feel about my method trying this, but as you guys might know, I need to try stuff. That is what I enjoy. I want to see and I want to get an objective view of something. How is it working? Can you optimize it? What is the best method? I'm not fully sure yet what is the best method. I will try to continue investigating transmog. What if we keep selling this dirt cheap? What if it's selling way higher? Maybe having medium prices? What's going on? I hope I didn't upset any of you with this kind of video, because I know those prices might be a little bit weird for people. But please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.